My phone lit up with Dad's name, a rare flicker of light in the gloom of my Seattle office. Rain hammered against the windows as I answered, daring to hope for warmth. "Evelyn," he said, his voice clipped and businesslike. "We're keeping Thanksgiving small this year. Clara's bringing Theo, and we need it to go smoothly. His family's connected. We can't risk issues." Issues. That's what I was now. Not a daughter. Not family. Just a problem in their perfect picture. My grip tightened around the pen in my hand. "Got it," I replied, keeping my voice steady despite the ache in my chest. "Good," he said, already checked out. "We'll talk soon." The call ended. I stared out at the Puget Sound, its gray waves blurring in the storm. I had built a tech empire out of grit and sleepless nights. Yet to them, I was still overshadowed by Clara's glow. Beneath the hurt, a fire kindled inside me, one I hadn't felt since childhood. Memories surfaced, sharp and uninvited, like an old reel stuck on repeat. Growing up in Olympia in the late 2000s, our house smelled of cedar and Clara's spotlight. Her ballet recitals filled the living room with admirers, while my robotics club trophies gathered dust on the counter. Mom fussed over Clara's costumes. Dad drove her to lessons, rain or shine. And me? I hovered by the stairs, clutching my coding camp certificate, waiting for a nod that never came. At 17, Clara was handed a sleek red coupe, the keys gleaming in Dad's proud hand. "She needs it for dance," he said. When I asked about a car, he shrugged. "You're tough, Evelyn. You'll sort it out." So I did. I rode buses to school, worked late nights at a coffee shop, scraped together what I could, while Clara's path glittered with privilege. At Washington State University, I survived on willpower. Mornings shelving books at the library, afternoons pulling espresso shots at a campus cafe, nights coding on a wheezing old laptop. Sleep was a myth. Determination wasn't. Clara's art degree was funded by the family. My computer science degree came from scholarships, loans, and raw persistence. Their neglect became my fuel. By graduation, that diploma wasn't just a piece of paper, it was proof. In Seattle, I joined a fledgling tech firm, coding in a cramped loft that smelled of burnt coffee. Meanwhile, Clara posted glossy snapshots from gallery hops in San Francisco. My parents' calls were filled with stories about her life, their voices bright with pride. Never mind. I kept building. By 28, I launched Vertex, my own software platform. Investors looked at me, a woman with no pedigree, and saw doubt. Their skepticism was nothing new. I'd been proving people wrong my entire life. When Vertex secured deals with coastal giants, the world finally noticed. Wired called me a tech visionary. I sent the article to Mom, hoping, just maybe, for pride in her reply. "Nice, Evelyn," she texted back. Clara's engaged to Theo. His firm's huge in New York. Thanksgiving morning was a cold slap. Clara's post filled my feed. Her and Theo, my parents smiling at a mahogany table. The caption read, "Grateful for love and family." There was no place for me. I microwaved soup alone. The silence was heavy, until Jonas called. "No way you're spending the day alone. My family's got a feast. You're coming." His family's home buzzed with warmth. Children laughing, his dad carving ham, his mom piling my plate with cornbread. "You're ours," she said, handing me cobbler. Driving home under twinkling lights, I realized something. Family wasn't about blood. It was about who made space for you at the table. By February, Vertex was unstoppable. We opened a Vancouver office. Wired featured me again. I called home, foolishly hopeful. "Evelyn, good to hear you," Dad said, distracted. "Clara's moving to Manhattan with Theo. Big promotion." My news sank unnoticed. I vowed then to stop chasing their approval. But in April, HR dropped a file on my desk. Clara had applied for our chief analyst role. "She doesn't know you run Vertex?" Maya, my colleague, asked with a raised eyebrow. Her resume was a glossy fabrication, consulting jobs she barely touched, data skills she didn't have. To her, this was just another rung to climb. Old scars burned. "Judge her like anyone else," I told Maya. Her interview was charm without substance. She dodged technical questions, tossing buzzwords like glitter. When I stepped forward as CEO, her smile shattered. "Evelyn," she gasped. I pressed her on her resume. Fake titles, non-existent skills. She left rattled. Hours later, she stormed back with our parents in tow. "You ambushed me." Clara spat. "Family helps family," Dad snapped. I stood tall. "Vertex runs on merit, not charity. Clara can start at the bottom." She sneered. "You've always hated me." I laughed, sharp, unshaken. "Hated? No. I built this while you coasted. I'm done dimming my light." Her world unraveled quickly. The engagement fizzled. Her posts vanished. My parents visited, quieter than before. "How'd you do it, Evelyn?" Mom asked one evening, her eyes tracing the sleek lines of my apartment. I shared fragments. The rejections, the nights I nearly gave up, the stubborn belief that carried me. They listened. It wasn't forgiveness, but it was a crack in the wall. By summer, Clara returned. Her resume stripped to truth. She applied for a junior analyst role, no demands, no shortcuts. At my parents' 30th anniversary, I found a chair waiting for me. Clara asked about Vertex, not with envy, but curiosity. As we toasted, I realized respect, not approval, was my victory. Family wasn't about erasing wounds. It was about the ones who held the door open when you finally arrived.